On tonight's show, we have accomplished author and artist, Van G Garrett. And now for your host, KoolKard. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Episode 64. I am your host, KoolKard. Welcome to the Kickin with KoolKard show. If this is your first time watching, I invite you to subscribe so I can continue bringing you this value. And I have some great guests that come on here. I'm telling you, so much value comes through here. I'm grateful. I'm thankful. You know, without them, I wouldn't be able to do it. Without you guys tuning in, checking me out, coming to kick it, I wouldn't be able to do it. I do this for you because I know that there's a need for information, free information. I like to call it free game. There's so many people out here just trying to charge you for every little thing. And some of this stuff, I mean, come on. I get it though. I get it. You know, you can sell information. I get it, but not today. Not on KoolKard. Not every Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm gonna give you the free game. All right. All right. So last week, just a quick recap. Last week on episode 63, I had Tierra D. Price. She is a veterinarian. She is a community veterinarian. So basically, she works like I think she does like neutering and spading or whatever, but she works at community shelters like for stray dogs and stuff like that as well. Studies medicine. Like, she's just phenomenal. She's doing great things. And I don't know if you noticed, last month I had all African American females for the month of February. And that was by design because it was Black History Month and it was Valentine's month. So had to do it for the ladies. Had to, just show my respects to the ladies and all the great things that they're doing. Valentine's month and Black History, had to represent and pay homage to the sisters. You know what I'm saying? So it was good. It was good. But on to this week, I got a very, very, very accomplished gentleman coming on the show. His name is Van G Garrett. He's an author. He's a poet. He's a drummer. He is a writer. He paints. What doesn't he do? A photographer. I'm telling you. I just know this brother has the game for y'all. I know he has some free games. So y'all sit tight, stay tuned. I'm going to bring him in right after this intro. Van G Garrett, what's going on? Welcome to the Kickin with KoolKard show.
Hey, man, I appreciate it, bro. Thank you so much for having me tonight, man.
Oh, man, I had to. Such an accomplished brother like yourself. I mean, come on. This is all about giving up the free game and giving information. I know you got a plethora of information.
A little something, man. A little something.
Break them off just a little something. You ain't gotta give them everything. I know you got gems, just crack off a corner of that diamond for them and, flick them a little pebble of that.
I'm glad to. I'm glad to. I know, Yeah.
Yes, indeed. So, man, author, poet, drummer, you can keep adding to it if I miss anything. So, author, poet, drummer, writer, painter, adjunct professor. What else, man?
You did a pretty good job with listening to the thing. You know what I mean? Yeah, you can stop right there. I mean, yeah, that's fine.
Now, here's my first question for you before we jump into everything. What is most satisfying? What is your passion? What are you most passionate about out of all that I just named?
What am I most passionate about? Oh man, you start with the tough questions first, right? Hard.
Do so much, though.
Yeah, right. I mean, I think probably being an educator, man. I really think being an educator is by far like what I'm most passionate about. Okay. And that's and I think that's all encompassing on so many different levels. From the middle school level all the way to the college level. Because it gives me the opportunity to share my passions with other people. Because you already know, much is given, right? Much is required, much is expected. So that's how I was brought up, right? Okay. So that's probably the most rewarding, the most satisfying. Now, you would have asked the old me, like when I was in my 20s, you would have gotten that answer. You know what I'm saying? My early 20s, nah. But that's where I am right now. Yeah.
Okay. So it's basically being an educator, feeding that value into other people, changing the world is what you're doing.
trying to change the world, man. Yeah. Because I mean, look, I was brought up knowing that, man, everybody has so many gifts that they're just born with. That they are just, I mean, you just inherit so many of these different gifts, and so I would say that, why would I be blessed with the gifts just to sit on them? That doesn't make sense. So
yes, indeed. I try to instill that into my kids. You know what I mean? Like, if you got a talent, show it, express it. God gave you that gift to share it with the world, not to sit on it and keep it for yourself.
Right.
Who are you to tell God that he was wrong for giving you them gifts by just being stingy with it? You know what I mean? Who are you to tell God I'm not going to share what you've given me when you share it with me? Does that even make sense?
It don't even make sense, man. Hey, that's that black screenplay, right? Your arms too short to box with God. You know what I'm saying? So,
right.
You can't do it, man. You can't, so yeah, that's just, for me, that's just really what I believe, man. And all that stuff that you mentioned, which is cool. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm fortunate to be able to do what I love doing and that. But on a serious note, man, I just really, I don't take it lightly. Like, I feel like that's just my due diligence, right? To be able to share my passions and that kind of stuff. And the reality of it is I learn from others too. So, I mean, I'm not being stingy with it. And other people, I guess, are not being stingy either. So it's a reciprocal thing. So, yeah.
Now, with all that you do coming up, as a young adult, what was the first thing that you kind of got involved in with all that you do?
All right, yeah. So the first thing would be music. So music was like my gateway drug, so to speak. You know what I mean? Like, that was the thing because, man, it started in middle school. In fact, because in middle school I was like, man, I didn't care about school. I did not care about school at all, But I love music, and I loved all types of music, man. And I just happened to hop on a set of drums, and it's just like that became my instrument. And so people knew me as a drummer. They knew me as a musician because I played jazz band, I played marching band, and I was gigging as a freshman in high school. I was gigging with adults and like playing at these different, spots. And so people knew me as a musician, right? And later on in life, I was fortunate enough to be on the stage with like Grammy Award-winning musicians and been in the studio recording and stuff.
Yeah. But
the rhythm of music obviously has helped me as a writer and as an artist because I feel things in a certain beat, So, yeah, man. So that was like the gateway right there. Yeah.
So, and what I don't want to say a lot of people don't know, but I'm pretty sure my viewers don't know that you're actually a ghostwriter as well. I heard that through the grapevine. You don't advertise that too much, and I know you can't speak about who you write for. Right. I get that, but as far as, do you do more like R&B writing?
Man, let me say this. Man, there's no limit. There's no limit. And I'll say this, that you can listen to a country radio station, and I might have my finger in that. You can listen to R&B, real heavy hip hop. So as a ghost, I mean, it's just about whether or not I can bring the heat, whether or not I can bring, and not to brag, but my pen game is strong. You know what I'm saying? So I've been fortunate enough that people have said, "Hey, can you fill in? Can you do this and do that?" But being a ghost is different, because when you're writing for yourself, you can say whatever you want to say. You can bring your personality to the table. But man, you're writing for somebody else, and it's like, case in point. I can't speak on the artist, but I'll tell you something that somewhat public knowledge. I was working on a project, and now my piece was only like 32 seconds, right? So I had like a 32-second piece. Man, I wrote that thing and rewrote that thing. Like, I never wrote so much to try to get that much material to be able to fit the mold for what the album needed. And it was a lot of pressure. Like, when I'm writing for me, it's like one thing, but people need their things right. So yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, but it's fun though.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. Man, I'm a writer. I used to be an artist. I choose not to go down that path anymore. That's not what I do. This is what I do. But yeah, so yeah, writing is definitely fun. Writing can keep you up all times of night. Writing can wake you up out your sleep, and you write a song in 10 minutes because it's flowing out you. It's something magical about those wee hours of the mornings, man. As a writer, I'm sure you know, right?
Oh man, yeah, you know, and it depends on where you are too. Like, because I've been in some spots. We just keeping it casual, right? So I can be honest, right? Be honest. Man, I've been in some spots where the inspiration has hit me in some unexpected ways, like in the wee hours of the morning. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Then I've been in places where it's like it's super super quiet, and I'm seeking inspiration, so to speak. I'm seeking that creativity. It doesn't come readily, right? And so a lot of times it's like what you mentioned. Sometimes you just can't force it. You just have to allow yourself to be present and be receptive to whatever comes your way. So, yeah. So,
I was just giving somebody some advice on that. A writer, actually, she was a singer, I guess, or whatever. And she was like talking about getting writer's block and stuff like that. And I'm just like, you have to step away from it and go live life, go get some life experiences, and it'll all flowing back into you, just like that.
Yeah.
It is.
Man, you should have sent her my way, because I don't believe in writer's block. Like I don't think there's such thing as writer's block, because there's so many possibilities. Like I'm gonna do like a quick little workshop with you right now. Like if you just observe what's around you and you just write what you see in your environment, then all that is fodder for inspiration. That's just material. That's just source material. And the reality of it is, even if we're not physically writing, we're still writing. Like in our minds, we're processing. So come on, I'm talking.
Yeah.
Right. That's the processing is still writing. So yeah.
Absolutely. And I know that 200-fold, because I was to a point where, and this is not because how rappers be like, oh, I don't write nothing down, this and that, brag.
Right.
I'm not saying that to brag or anything, but I didn't write anything down. Like I got a photographic memory, so my memory is so good that I walk around. When I used to write on a regular, I would walk around and see something, and I'll be like, that's a good idea, and then the ideas start popping in my head. So I start putting the song together while I'm just walking around. So I say it over and over enough times, and then I just leave it alone. Go do what I was gonna do, and come back to it later, because it's still there. Because I wrote it down on a piece of paper in my head, and I see the words. You know what I mean? So, like you're saying, just inspiration comes from anything and anywhere at any time.
Right.
Don't force it, but if it's there at all times. So I'll take little bits and pieces. Like I'll even just see a word, and I'm like, oh, I learned a new word today. I know the meaning of it. I like it. I'm gonna use that, but in a clever way though. Not like I'm just trying to throw big words out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A whole song could come from just one word that I learned for the day or something like that. It's just crazy.
No, man, I think that's brilliant though, man. Like I mean, one of my favorite rappers of all times is Jay-Z, right?
Say no more. Say no more.
I take Jake, like what you said, man. Like what Jake said. Jay said it's like getting into his Rain Man, right? Because like being able to process, and so I have a lot of respect for artists and writers that can do that, right? Like I can see something and call it up something visual. But as far as that, man, I'm still trying to practice my chops on that. Like even if it's something I wrote 10 years ago and I performed it here and there, like you'll still see me like holding my sheet right there, like what was that line again? So no, man, I respect that for real.
And you know what it does too. What I find, but that's like anything that front to back, you can be more creative with it when you're delivering it. So say, like an artist, you got to get in the booth and you got to do it. So you're not on stage. Right. That goes down the line, right? So when you're in the booth, you're not thinking about anything. So you can be animated with it. You can ad-lib more with it. You can say it with more feeling. You can really believe what you're saying because it's in you. You know it. You're not reciting. You're not reading off of a paper. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I'm not saying you can't put feeling to it when you're reading off the paper, because you can. But when you just know it, now you're just in performing. You know what I mean? You're in there performing. Right. There's no thought to it. So that's what writing in your head does, because now you've gone over it 100 times in your head anyway. So now you got it down. You don't need to look at nothing.
Yeah, just loose.
Yeah.
No net. Yeah. No, man, that's all right. Yeah. So this is what I was gonna ask you. So I don't know if I'm veering off the thing, but like who are your top MCs? Like, okay, let me. I know that's a tough question.
We gonna take it there, top 5.
if you want, man, like either your top MCs or if you're into the freestyle, like who do you consider to be some of your top freestyle artists if you go in that direction?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
dang, oh man. When you said freestyle, because I want to talk about this guy, but I forget his name. But okay, MCs for sure, Jay-Z, Biggie for sure. I'm not really okay. I'll say this: Nas is nasty, right?
Nasty.
But I wasn't really into Nas growing up. Like I know of Nas, not like I know. I listen to Nas. Don't get me wrong. He has fantastic work, classic work. But I was just never really into him like that.
Right.
I want to put him there because he is there. He deserves to be there. But for me, I can't say because I wasn't really into him. So I gotta say Jay-Z, Biggie. Let's go. Okay. And because when people say top 5, they always want to go lyrical, right?
Right.
But Jay-Z is number 1, top, period. All time for me.
Hands down.
I don't care. Listen, and people get mad at me or whatever they want, but I don't care who came before Jay-Z. Jay-Z is genius with it. He's genius with it, man. I'm sorry. He's genius with it. And that's not to take anything away from anybody. But I'm telling you, like, just from the cerebral aspect and being able to straddle the fence and entertain you at the same time, which a lot of MCs can't do. They get too cerebral, they get too heady. It's all bars, punchlines. It's not a song anymore. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it's not a song anymore. It's a fine line. It's a fine line to be able to spit like that with metaphors, double entendres, and all that heady stuff, and then still be able to make a song that can entertain you and that you feel in your soul. Like, man, I've been to several Jay-Z concerts, and every time I go, that energy, man, it captivates you. And he's not on the stage dancing, shucking and jiving, doing nothing. But I'm telling you, man, when that boy is up there doing his thing, there's no other energy like that in that realm for me.
Right.
I can go and see his show, and he can do the same set every single time, and it's still gonna affect me the same way. But let's say this. Because I said people always talk about lyrics. So for me, I grew up on Snoop Dogg. I know he's not the most lyrical, but as far as impacting the culture and impacting the game and what he has, I think he helped hip hop commercialize itself because he was a character.
Right. And
characters last. People don't realize it, man. These rappers that last a long time. Outside Jay-Z is the exception because all he's ever been is just real, and all he's ever been is just him, and he's always been transparent about his life and what he's done. Snoop, on the other hand, he's been transparent, and he's always rapped about his environment and smoking and this and that. But I don't think he dove as deep as Jay-Z did and does, telling about his life, painting you from that aspect. So I think Snoop was more of a, cause I mean it's Snoop Dogg and the whole doggy thing, so it's like that's a character, you know. That's not take anything away from him, but that's just what it is. He was a character, but his music is so impactful because it changed the landscaping of hip hop. It made it so commercial. He had the white people loving it. They wanted to smoke. They wanted to be all about the dog pound, the dog father, everything. Like he's an icon. He really is. He's an icon. You could say Snoop Dogg. Everybody knows Snoop Dogg.
Right.
I don't care where you are. Everybody knows Snoop Dogg. Everybody knows Jay-Z. All right, so let me get back to my list. So we got Jay, Biggie. Only need to speak about Biggie. Jay, Biggie, Snoop. For me, just being an impactful artist. God, man. Let me go ahead and throw Nas in there. Let me throw Nas number 3, even though I wasn't into him, because he just deserves it. He deserves it, man. I mean, I think, and you know why I say he deserves it? And I know I'm going long on this, but, this is the thing. You got me on this, and I never discuss no top 5 MCs. I never get in that conversation. I never get in the Jordan, Kobe, LeBrons. I don't get in conversations because I feel what I feel, and you ain't going to change that. I don't care what stat you throw at me. You're not going to change it. Anyway.
Okay,
Jay-Z, Biggie, Nas, Snoop. Man, there's so many, man. I know I'm gonna forget somebody. But okay, let's take it to a softer side. I don't want to say soft and belittle the man and like that, but I really feel like LL changed the game too.
Oh yeah.
I really feel like LL led the way for the Drakes. You know what I'm saying?
That's an interesting. Yeah, it's an interesting point. All right, that's an interesting point.
Because there's not too many rappers that take that lane these days, and Drake is killing it. Like, I think Drake does his best work when he gets his LL on.
Yeah.
You know, but it's now, and it's a different style of rapping these days. But that's what he's doing.
True. Hey, I never even thought about it. You really shed some light on that. I mean, I never thought of Drake in that way. But come on, I Need Love, LL.
That's what it is. He come out. Yeah. LL just didn't sing, but it's the same stuff, right? He's catering to the ladies. It's love songs. It really is. It's love songs. But you still keeping it street. I don't want to say street for Drake, because he ain't no street dude. But you still keeping it, you know, within the hip hop feel. But it's a love. Right. Eh?
Gotcha.
But I'm cool with that, because I like R&B. I'd rather listen to R&B all day nowadays.
Right. That's kind of where I am with it too. I can definitely get into some R&B, especially at the end of the day. Yeah. You know. But man, look, I'm looking at your list and I'm checking it twice. You know what I mean? Yeah. No. So.
But listen, man, there's so many people out there that could be at that number 4 and that number 5, though. Honestly, I ain't gonna lie to you. I think Eminem is one of the top lyricists, and he's definitely top when it comes to that freestyle. I'm sorry.
No doubt. Oh, no doubt. I mean, yeah, he's on my list. He's on my roster, of course, in my bracket all day. You know what I mean? Like, you talked about Jay. You already know. Jay actually is the proclaimed monster of the double entendre. You know what I'm saying? And what you said, I mean, about all that stuff, his delivery, all those things you mentioned. Yeah, and I've seen Jay in concert too. And what you said is so accurate. This dude, how can I leave a Jay concert hoarse? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
What? 2 bills plus, and I feel like I did all the work, right? It was the Heart of the City tour with Mary J. Blige.
Oh, man, my God.
It was bananas. But I would tell you, like, just like you said, Jay can bring that energy, which I'm gonna circle back around. I'm definitely gonna ride with Big as well. I mean, come on, conversational flow. I mean, and just slant rhymes. Like, Big was like that line, I make your mouthpiece obese like Delarice. When I release, you lose teeth like little C's, right? And then he came later and said, Russian concussion. Like, I mean, just like how his rhyme patterns, dynamic. So of course him with Snoop, as far as being a character, he's not on my list. But as far as character rapper, I would say Busta Rhymes, man. Busta Rhymes, as far as a character, still has longevity. Like I can still remember that Mountain Dew commercial. Dude went head up with a ram or something like that. Like he's known for bringing that energy from day one. Yeah. Nas, I'm with you also with Nas. I can appreciate what Nas does lyrically. Mm-hmm. And you also know that Nas comes from a bloodline of musicians, right? His dad, Oludara, and all that. So it's in his bones, right? So I can appreciate what Nas does as a writer, as a rapper, but he's never been like somebody I listen to in my playlist. Now I would tell you,
you know why?
Jay,
I'm sorry to cut you off. You know why? Because go ahead. He used to be. You know what? It's crazy because his last album is one of the best albums for me, because I feel like he finally figured out how to entertain you and say all them big words at the same time.
Entertainment. Yeah, because I would tell you, because you know what? My first introduction to Nas was seeing him as a performer, and the performance was lackluster. Like, it was like time, dudes holding the mic, and the mic, you can't hear what's going on. Yep. But like, and if you don't know the lyrics, like, you don't know how to ad lib while he's performing. Yeah. And so for me, like, I don't know the song, so it was like, it was a bust for me. Yeah. But yeah, so you talked about LL, and I see that. I'm gonna throw out just a few. Like, I don't know if y'all into the ciphers, but I'm into the ciphers. You know about Fred the Godson?
Yeah.
Fred the Godson. So
yeah.
So look, man. So hey, Fred the Godson is by far one of my favorite just freestylers. Papoose. Oh man, this dude freestyle the alphabet forward, right? Then came back and did it backwards. Like,
Yeah.
Who does that?
Go.
Wordplay. Oh, but speaking of wordplay, you remember K Solo? You remember K Solo back in the days? Like Spellback, like so. Like I'm real, obviously I play with words all day anyway. So I love when somebody can take the words and play with them. So Papoose on it. Loaded Lux. You know about Loaded Lux?
I do know about him, but I don't know too much about his work though.
Check out, yeah, he's tight. And then Murder Mook. I think Jada Kiss as far as a freestyler as well. Jada, come on,
no more.
You know, man, Ali, Mos Def, I mean, Yasin Bey. So it's like, I mean, so we'll be all day obviously talking about hip hop, but what you said is, I mean, as far as why they are who they are, and of course M, man. I mean, like people can say what they want to say about M, man, but his whole crew, like Royce the 5'9". I think Royce the 5'9" is like underrated MC, right? Like, and speaking of that, I mean, so I'm gonna ask you this, and I know we can talk about. I can tell we can talk about hip hop all night, right? But man, what about Rakim Allah? Like a lot of people throw Rakim in the conversation, and I would say growing up, I listened to him, but I think I might have missed like the genius that you know people associate with him.
That's what I was gonna say. Like I know how great Rakim is. I'm gonna say is because he's not
right. Oh.
Right?
Right. Yeah.
But like you were saying, I didn't dive into his work enough to say, yeah, Rakim, he's in my top 5. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I was on the sidelines paying attention. And then of course, you know, I was a lot younger when he was in his prime. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I didn't really get into him as much. I identified the genius in him. So I get it when people were like, yo, how can you leave Rakim out? I get that. But for me, you asking me, I gotta tell you, no, he's not in my top 5 because I didn't live the experience that you lived. Just listen, this is one thing I try to tell younger guys too. Right? They want to always talk about this Jordan and Kobe and LeBron and this and that and third. And I'm just like, you can't ever have an argument with a millennial about Jordan and somebody else because they didn't live it. They did not experience. You had to experience Michael Jordan. You had to literally sit there. You can go back and watch the old games, but it ain't the same. You're seeing what we saw, but it's all about that experience, man. You're living in the moment. What a time to be alive. You know what I'm saying? Like you had to really just be in that moment, in that energy when he was doing what he was doing.
Man, talk about energy. I mean, look, if we're talking about basketball, but before I hop on the basketball tip for a second, man, I cannot leave out Black Thought. I mean, to all day. Trotter, you talk about Jay, man. Like every time I've gone to a Roots concert, the energy level has been so high. It's just a whole nother wave. It's just it's a whole nother wave. And those brothers, look, those brothers are solid brothers, man. Those are some good dudes right there. But but you talk about basketball, man. I think about when Shaq used to break backboards.
I know.
Who was that?
Listen, I know they've reinforced them nowadays, but still, like you're saying, that was an experience you had to live through. You wouldn't even understand if you told a kid today, like, yo, that guy used to break backboards. It doesn't mean anything to them. They'll just be like, oh, for real? But it doesn't mean anything to them because they didn't experience, they didn't live it. That's why I never get into those arguments because I can't even get into an argument with these kids today about Jay-Z because they don't know him like that. They know of him because he's still relevant. He makes himself relevant, but they don't know Jay-Z like that. I lived in New York City when Jay-Z was on his run. You know what I mean? Like I was there. I was in the energy. I was within that energy. I was in the clubs when he was in the clubs. I used to work at Sony Studios when Jay-Z was in a session, and I'm in the session because I worked there. Like you know what I mean? Like you can't tell me. You can't tell me because I live the energy. If you live that energy, then you could tell me. But these younger kids, they'll never understand it because you have to experience it. You can't go back and watch the film. You can't go back and listen to the records because it's not the same. Right. So there's no argument there. It's like I can't go back and forth with you. You'll never understand.
Yeah, you can't understand, but you hope that they're doing their research. You hope that they're doing their knowledge, man.
Yeah.
And I think some of them are really starting to pay attention. You know what I mean?
Come on.
I mean, and if they say it or not, the rhythms all those things, because let's be honest, the rhythms are African, right? So those rhythms will find a way to them eventually. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It's I like.
Huh? No, I said, man, come on, man. You started talking about hip hop, man.
I know.
Just like,
man, you started it. You started it, but nah, it's cool, man. I love it because I don't go there much, and I don't talk. Like I can't. I'll tell you that top 5 now. Jay-Z's always gonna be there. Big's always gonna be there. Snoop might fall off. I could think of somebody. Like I just gotta think about people, but it's just different, man. There's so many artists out there that have had an impact on my life that, you know, if I hear that song, it'll bring back memories. Like that's the stuff I value. You know what I mean? Like if you make me reminisce and think about a time when life was like really good. Not to say it's bad now, but just a time when like life was really good. You're like, man, this was a good time, and I had a great time. I enjoyed myself. Like if you could think back, songs make you do that. That's something. That's saying something. A lot of this stuff on the radio now, I ain't gonna remember shit. Excuse me. You know what I mean? You ain't making me remember shit because I am not even listening to the verses. I may remember the beat and the hook, maybe, but you're not anything. And I'm not saying everybody's like that, but there is a lot of that out there now. But I'll say this one last thing. We're gonna move on. I really love the fact that Jay is still prominent, even though he don't even put out records as much. But he's still prominent. He makes it cool for you to be a little seasoned and still living within this hip hop realm and in this hip hop culture. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because these young kids, they try to write off these older guys, and I hate it, man. Because while the Rolling Stones and Aerosmith and Paul McCartney and all them, they could still tour, sell out arenas, and live good. But the rapper, the older seasoned rapper, is struggling to get a show. And if he is doing shows, you know, he has to go overseas to make some decent money. Because they respect you a little bit more over there. They just respect the art overseas. And I understand why they tour so much over there, because that's where they can make a living. Because people get it. I don't understand why we're so privileged, why we're so... Man, I don't get it, man. Like people out here in America, they just so quick to move on, to write you off. Oh, you're yesteryear, you're old. Like, but the music's good. You do remember these good songs, and I still got good stuff to present to you. Why are you turning the cheek? Why are you turning your ear?
Yeah, man. Hey, man, look. Hey, the sociology term, man. That's that whole microwavable society. That's that McDonaldization of society. But I would tell you, I mean...
why is it with our culture, though? Why, though?
Because it's disposable, man. Because you know what I'm saying? It's because it's disposable. You know, it's like any... I mean... I don't. That's a whole other conversation. But I would tell you, I would tell you that you're exactly right. Maybe let me see. Well, it has to have been at least a year ago since the world has been shut down. So it was a little bit more than a year now. Yeah, a little bit more than a year now. And Biz Markie did a show, House of Blues in Houston, and he was DJing, you know, playing these songs and stuff like that. And so what you said was spot on as far as music and songs that make you go back to when you were a kid. And in a real sense, music, man, has always been like my go-to. It has always been like what has been a source of inspiration. Yeah. And as a writer, because we talked about music, but in all these different pockets of who I am today, music has always been at the forefront. And I would tell you, like, I remember the UMCs. Remember the UMCs? Blue Cheese? Yeah. Man, Blue Cheese. Like when I saw that video, and when I saw a Tribe Called Quest Scenario, when I saw those videos, I was like, this is art. This is artistic. These cats are doing whatever they want. They're doing whatever they want to do. They're saying whatever they want to say. And then I saw Chuck D, Mr. Chuck D. When I saw the Power video, like literally those 3 videos stand out in my mind, and those were like that was the bridge for me to be like, hey, you know what? You can be an artist. You can say whatever you want to say. You can do whatever you want to do. That coupled with Nikki Giovanni. Man, I read Nikki Giovanni. I listened to Public Enemy, Tribe Called Quest, and the UMCs. All that gumbo. Mm-hmm. I was like, man, you can't tell me, you know. And it was just a pride, man. It was a sense of pride. Like you would turn on remember you turn on the videos, man, and like every day or every week it would be like a brand new video. It'd be different from the next.
I miss the fact that people really had self-expression in videos, and with the art, the visuals, everything was well thought out. It was everything that they wanted you to see. Now it's just, give me a nice calm and a couple girls shake their butt. We're gonna get a house and some free, and we good.
Right.
And we're gonna film on the camera phone. You know? Now it's like, I don't know what Hype Williams is doing. I know I can see him doing videos for, you know, people like Mariah Carey and stuff still, but none of the younger kids want to pay his fee. They don't want to pay what he's worth. I think that's just my opinion. Because I know what he charges. I don't think they want to pay what he's worth, so they don't use him. Because Hype Williams,
I mean, come on, that's a movie.
And exactly.
And Little X too. Hype and Little X.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, come on, man.
I remember when Little X, Hype Williams, Little X. Matter of fact, Benny Boom was Little X protege. Because I remember when me and my homeboy, we used to do music videos and we were modeling and acting, right? So we went out to Jersey and did the EI video with Nelly. Benny Boom was the one on the bus with us. Like, he was chaperoning us, basically. All the models, all the people that are going to be in the video, Benny Boom was over us. He was Little X's protege, learning the game at that time. And now I see this man, and I'm like, wow.
Come on. You see what I'm saying? Like, okay, so look. So obviously, we can't jump off of hip-hop because it's too deep. Man, but look, but let me tell you, like, coming up, like, you already know, right? Like, at that point, when all these different pieces were coming about, like, okay, so of course you had Vibe and you had Source. Let's be clear, you had Source and then Vibe, and then we're not gonna talk about Double XL and how that came about, but let's just rock with Source and Vibe for a second. Man, so you had these magazines, right? And so everybody was really trying to be a part of you know, these big productions, man. And it was like, looking at it now, like, I still have so much respect for the work that went into putting those magazines together, because that was before what you mentioned. That was before cell phones. Yeah. Like, when I worked I worked for Source magazine, like, while I was in college and then after college and all that. And it was a wonderful experience. But I'm going to tell you, like, it was, for me, it was like, well, for the company, they got a 2-for-1, because I'm a photographer, as you mentioned, but I'm also a writer. So I'd go to a show, and then I would photograph the show. Then I'm writing about the show, and then, like, sometimes you know how it is. You put a package deal together. Yeah. You might have the CD review like the day before, all that stuff together, right? It was no going to a concert, taking out a cell phone, snapping it, you know, videoing it, blah blah blah, and then uploading it, like, while you're there doing it live. Right, man. Like, hey, you leave the show at 1, 2, 3 in the morning. You're in that dark room developing film, and it had to be on that person's desk by 6 in the morning. Oh. I'm talking about, and that's processing and writing, and you pull those all-nighters, and now you look at those people who that's where their heart was and their passions, and look at what they're doing now. What you say as far as Benny Boom? I mean, these people, man. It's just, you know, it was a different day, you know. And when I say, man, I feel like, you know, I probably sound like an old head, like, man, back in the days, you know what I'm saying? But it was a different time. People put the dues in, right? Yeah. Yeah.
They put work in. They put work back in the days. Yeah. They put work in, good quality work. The videos, $1 million videos, that were worth it though. Right. Because they gave you an experience. I remember when they would be like, oh, this Friday, world premiere, new Missy Elliott video. Bro, we were hyped. We would set a reminder like, yo, can't miss that world premiere, Missy, even though we wake up Saturday and it's gonna be playing all day. But like, you wanted to experience the world premiere.
Right. Oh, man.
You know it was gonna blow your mind with the visual. Man, come on.
Come on. Going to Sam Goody.
Man, come on, man.
Getting the singles, get the acapella, get the instrumental,
get
the you know. Yeah. But back to what you said, experience. It was about the experience, man. Yeah.
You had to live it.
Gosh.
You had to live it. You had to live it.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your
we can talk about this.
We on that hip hop. Let's talk about your writing. So you have like a unique style of writing. I'm not gonna say all your books are like that, but you have a unique style of writing that you do. Like, you write a story using poetry, right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, man. That's that's what people have known me for like the last 20 years plus. I mean, it's poetry, right? And so, all right, so let's just backtrack. So when I was in school, in undergrad, like I was an English major and a mass comm major, radio, television, broadcasting. So that's kind of how those passions kind of came together. Because the English side, that was me expressing myself, whereas the media side, that was me, highlighting somebody else's narrative or the narratives of other people. Yeah. So, but even when I wasn't doing that stuff, I still was writing poems, and so I've written poems, for a long time now. But it was in college where I got my first big shot, so to speak. And so I was writing at the time, and there was a guest speaker that came in. His name was Professor Lorenzo Thomas, who was one of the founders of the Black Arts Movement. So that in itself was like, man, like this man was like a founding father of the. Okay, so if we look at the timeline, it's like Lorenzo Thomas, Amiri Baraka, Sonia Sanchez, Etheridge Knight. We have all these, Maya Angelou, all these poets on this timeline, right? And so if you look at their timeline and then you break it down to the next poets that come under them, also like the last poets, like these are the people who paved the way for Common and for like
okay.
And all, and so that whole piece. So he came and he spoke, and after it was over, after he got finished, speaking and reading, I walked up to him and I said, hey, look, I really enjoyed your work. And then my mentor, Dr. James Ulmer, he introduced me to him. And so we started talking. So he gave me his business card. He was like, send me some poems. And I'm like, send you some poems? So, okay. And I'm like, really? Like, just what I'm saying? This guy is like, he's somebody in the world, but okay. So I sent him some poems. Man, he got back with me within a few days or so. He's like, I love these poems. And he said, I'll respond to you a little later on. He sends my work to Maya Angelou, man. Yeah, to Maya Angelou. And then he shows me what she said. He's like, yo, and Maya Angelou loves your work, by the way. And by the way, your work is about to be published in this journal.
Wow.
As a junior in junior in college, and you get that kind of news that Maya Angelou likes your work, and then you have someone who is a founding father of this movement who says, oh, by the way, I'm gonna take you under my wings. All right. Hey man, that was like, for me, it was like, okay, that's cool. So maybe I have a gift here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So then I was like, I'm gonna stick with the poetry thing. So I started sticking with it. And it just kind of has parlayed over time. But yeah, people know me for writing very, very short poems. And so the types of poems that I write, they're African American influenced. Okay. So they're called kwansabas, and a kwansaba, it's a 49-word poem. Okay. Now I'm about to come on, New York. Here we go. We're about to do the math. I'm about to run these numbers for you. Here it goes. So it's a 49-word poem. So you have 7 lines. You have 7 words in each line, and then you have a total of 7 lines. Okay. So it's 7 going this way, and 7 going this way, and then 7 words in each line. All right. But check this out. But no word can have more than 7 letters.
Oh, right? Wow.
Yeah, proper nouns excluded. So like you can put Manhattan in there, right? But like if you put like the word xylophone, you can't do that. Like it's a rule to it, right? It's a rule to it. But so not to bore you with that, but Eugene Redmond, who he's the poet laureate of East St. Louis, he came up with this form, man, in 1985. They were sitting around just like what we're doing right now. They were chopping it up, talking. Hey, have people written a form that's just purely African American? And they're like, no, well, let's try something. So they literally tried their hands at it. And so people know me for writing the kwansabas. And dude, that poem is like about like that. That's what 49 words looks like on the page. It's like a chunk. So people know me for writing short work. Yeah, I've written, poems about everything that you could imagine. And, so yeah, and I still love doing that. I still love writing poetry,
You have like 10 books out, right? Because I got a couple of the links in the description.
Yeah. So I might have to hit you with some of these things.
Some of them promote, man. Self-promotion.
Self-promotion.
Real quick.
All right, so we had this one right here, right? So this is called a chapbook. So it's like a mixtape. This is Pit Bulls and Jaywalks. It's about how people look at pit bulls and black people and how there's a correlation. How some people fear pit bulls the same way they fear black people. People of color.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
this
strong.
is the Kwanzaa book that I was telling you about. Both of these are published by Cattywampus Press, which is out of Massachusetts, man. And so this is the one that won the prize. And after they won the prize, they were like, "Hey, can we get a follow-up?" And I'm like, "Yeah." So both of these have been doing pretty well. This is the one that dropped last year. It's called Water Bodies, and this is published actually in California. Otis Books published that. Can I Kick It? I'm kicking it with you right now. This was about, man, this is one I co-authored with Rand Walker about sneaker culture. So it's micro-fiction, micro-poetry, short poems, short work. And then the one that won the national prize, this is called Scrap, one about boxing. And so these are all Kwanzabas as well. So, I mean, those just a few that are right here on the desk, man. So
how many books total?
So 12. Yeah, so a total of 12. The first book was published by Xavier University Press, and it's called Songs of Blue Negritude. And man, it's it's real raw, man. Like we talked about hip hop and that, so it's about hip hop. It's like a real edgy type of book because that's where I was in life. We're talking about experiences and that. So that's how I was kind of moving in the world. And then there other collections. But now I'm about to make that foray into picture book writing because I think as a picture book author next year. It was gonna be this year, but with COVID and stuff, the book got pushed back. So yeah, man, I write across genres, man. I will tell you what I tell people all the time. I write for kids. I write for the young ones, but I also write for the grown and sexy. You know what I'm saying? And as a ghost. Sometimes I write under a pen name, you know what I'm saying? And so somebody might have read some of my stuff and then, oh, this is kind of fire. Okay. Yeah, I might have had something to do with it.
Okay. So. All right, so you ghosting books, you ghosting music. Everything. You're going to be ghosting movie scripts. Hey, real quick though, I want to go back to that the book you had with the boxer. Is that how you got involved with Lennox Lewis? Because I saw he did like a testimony about your work.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, we hitting all these different pockets tonight, Yeah, so all right, so boxing is my favorite sport, man. Boxing is my favorite sport. And so I was working on a project about Lennox Lewis, and it's actually called Lennox in 12, which is it's a collection of poems based on Lennox Lewis's life. Okay. And so this is I'm about to tell you this real story, man. Talk about like the struggle. You talk about some gems. This is the struggle being real for real. So at the time I was working on this project, I was really excited about it. And I reached out to Lennox Lewis's camp and I was like, hey, I'm working on this project and, I would like to take a meeting with Mr. Lewis, And so we went back and forth, man. We went back and forth like literally 6 months.
Oh, wow.
He got to the point where he was like, come on, fly to Jamaica. Come to my house and let's have a meeting. Bro. Now I'm about to drop some gems on you for real. Lennox Lewis, my favorite fighter of all times, said, come to my house in Jamaica. You don't have to worry about anything. Just get on the flight. Bro, I literally did not have enough money for shoestrings when that came about. To make a long story short, I couldn't fly to Jamaica and I couldn't take the meeting with them because I didn't have the money to do so.
Man.
But we still maintain that line of communication.
Okay.
And so he became familiar with my work over time. And so I ended up sending his family some of my books and projects and stuff, and I kept updating them and stuff. And so he was like, I really like your work. All right, so fast forward it. While I was working on the Lennox Lewis project, I was like, okay, I really want to know more about the sport. Now, when I was in college, I put the gloves on a little bit, man, but it was, it wasn't like I was in there sparring all day, every day, none of that stuff.
Right.
So I was like, in order to make this authentic, I need to know more about the sport. I need to know more than what I watch when I'm around this and that.
Watching.
So I literally, talking about doing your research, I literally became a boxing coach. I went to be certified as a boxing coach, an amateur boxing coach. Had to go to classes, sitting there on Saturdays, taking notes and all this kind of stuff. After I did that, I reached out to one of the universities here, which is Texas Southern University, HBCU. And I said, hey, look, I know y'all have a boxing team that's, coming up and could y'all use an extra coach? And they were like, sure. by doing that, I was able to be an assistant boxing coach. I was there with the team for a long time, and I learned so much more about the sport. And then obviously that became really a big part of who I was. And so one of the fighters, Jiffy Morales, who's also known as the Princess of Boxing, which it was actually her team. She just asked me to be one of the coaches. She said, "Will you manage me?" Like, so she graduated. She said, you know, and this was like her graduating twice from college, and she's like, will you manage me?" I'm like, "Yeah." So I started managing her as a brand manager, and because she's so charismatic, man, because people really like who she is, they like her personality. It became a big deal, and so we started attending like major fights, and so I started really talking to a lot more professional fighters, and then professional fighters became familiar with who I am, and so the boxing community, you know, they really embraced me. One, because Lennox Lewis was like co-signing what I was doing, but also because of what Jiffy was doing, and yeah, man. So I'm really proud of her because she, after she left boxing, took a hiatus from boxing, she started her own company, and in less than a year, she got a Super Bowl commercial. She had a Head and Shoulders Super Bowl commercial, man. Like, they reached out to her. So it's the narrative. We were talking about narratives earlier, man. And narratives are just,
life is a journey. Wow.
It's about the experience. You said it's about the experience, right? It's about the experience.
About the experience.
Right.
We got his name is R. Saldana Jr. He said, "Ask you about your classic cars." About your classic car.
Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's Renee. Shout out to Renee, man. He's one of my co-authors, man. Working on a project right now for young adults and middle schoolers and that. Yeah, man. I love classic cars as well, man. That's, you talk about experiences. That's another experience. Like, an opportunity presented itself, and I'll make this conversation short. An opportunity presented itself for me to go to Brazil. And so I was like super excited to go to Brazil for a lot of different reasons, some of which I'm not going to be able to say on air. But I was like, yeah, Brazil seems real nice. But I had to make a choice. It was either go to Brazil or buy this classic car. And I had money for both of them. So I was like, I had to think about it, right? It's a toss-up. So I was like, man, what should I do? And I'm telling you, like, this car was garage kept. It's a 1977 LTD, sea green, only 30,000 miles. I'm talking about pristine. Like, it's a parade car. So okay, so make a long story short, I didn't go to Brazil. Passed going to Brazil, got the classic car and named the car Brazil.
Wow.
I still had a car. Yeah, 77 LTD, big body. So.
Do you regret it? Are you?
No, man, I don't know. I don't regret it at all because I'm like, I can go to Brazil and take advantage of all that stuff and then have the photos and the memories.
Right.
But I can have this car and then cruise around and daydream all day long about going there.
Right.
Yeah. So
you chose that experience over the next. But see, that's the thing though. The Brazil experience is always there. That car.
Right. Exactly.
Probably wouldn't have been there when you got back.
No. I mean, let me tell you, no. I was happy with that choice.
I think you made a good executive decision.
Yeah, sometimes you got to make the right call.
Exactly. Now, I want to talk about, because I heard that you were a huge sneakerhead too. How many sneakers do you own, man?
Man, look, I'm about to say that online. I did not say that, because I would just say that I started losing count, man. What's crazy? Because talk about experiences as a kid and stuff. Okay, so I never was the kid to really be like the big Jordan sneaker fan, right? Like when the Jordans came out, like that was never me. Because not taking anything away from Jordan, we all know he's a great player, but he wasn't my favorite player. Okay. Like I said, I was looking at the players that weren't getting all of the shine, but if they were getting shine, they were getting shine for other reasons. Like I said, like Shaq. Now, I'm not going to say I was a huge Shaq fan, but that still impresses me to this day that it's like Jordan broke records, Shaq was breaking backboards. So, so coming up, I really wasn't getting every Jordan, and I really wasn't into the sneaker culture like that so much. But it wasn't until probably grad school, or actually I think that it actually might have started when I first started touring a little bit with my words and stuff. Because what would happen would be I was like, getting back to Jay-Z, see everything's connected to Jay. What happened was I was like, man, Jay would have that clean look. Remember, it would just be the suit jacket.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I'm saying? The pants and like a collar shirt, and you have the fresh whites, right? The classic Reebok. So every time I go to a city, what I would do is I would go to the sneaker store, get a fresh pair of white Reeboks, those classic ones, gum soles, and then I would leave the other ones for like the cleaning staff or whatever the case may be, or just donate them somewhere, right? But I didn't know I was collecting them at the time. I just knew that I liked them. Yeah. As time progressed, I was like, man, okay, what am I going to rock with? Because there's so many shoes out there, right. And I like what I like. Normally I get like artistic shoes, but the ones I like are the Reebok Basquiats. So I love Basquiat. That's my favorite painter of all times. And so man, now I collect shoes. I'm very strategic. I collect shoes because they're artistic or because they're designed by somebody I know. And so Chris Cole is like my favorite. He's my favorite sneaker designer. He's the one that designed the Tom and Jerry Reebok shoes. He did the Grinches. He did the let me see. I think he did some of the Hypnos. He did the peanut butter packs. And so Chris and I became really, really cool. And and so now he dropped some, but he's dropping so many shoes I can't even support him like that. He dropped the Ghostbuster shoes that came out for Halloween, and I was like, dude, if I try to support you just on the strength, man, I'd be forever broke. You know what I mean? Like, this dude drops shoes every week, a new shoe line. Check him out, Chris Cole, man, Chris Cole at Reebok. He's a real deal, man. He's a great designer. So I try to support the people, you know what I'm saying, that are cool, man. The people that are doing something, you know. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
Answer that question. That should say a lot.
A lot of shoes. Yeah. I mean, I had gotten bitten with the bug for a little bit, but then that kind of faded away. I was just like, you know what, whatever. I get shoes when I get shoes, but I'm not crazy about them. But I do have a friend. Actually, he was my very first interview with this show. His name is Jake. He went by Know It to Flip It because he flips shoes. Like he goes to like thrift stores and everything, find all these shoes, resell. You know, he keeps some, but he knows his stuff though. Like, he can tell you what any shoe is. He can tell you if it's fake.
Oh man,
everything. Like, he really does his thing. Like, he's getting pretty big on YouTube. He's like, I think he has like about 15,000 followers now. And he started after me doing that. Like, when he saw me doing what I was doing, he was like, man, I'm thinking about doing YouTube or what I do. And actually, he wanted me to kind of work with him doing resale. And I was like, that's just not my thing, you know. That's your thing. You do your thing. I got a passion for this. But we still talk and, you know, kind of, we talk about collaborating, but he's in a totally different realm, but we'll figure it out. But anyway, he knows his stuff, man, like crazy. I be blown away by the stuff he says and he knows, you know, because I went out a couple times with him, just kind of like scouting shoes.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's such and such, and this is such and such, and that's why that's fake. And this, like, he just knows it.
Man.
Knows it's crazy.
Hey, we need man, put me in contact, because that's the kind of cat you want to keep around for real.
Okay, especially, I'll connect you.
Man, like these trade shows and stuff like that, it's because you definitely have to be careful, because I mean sometimes man, the heat will drop and then somebody will just give you like this knockoff or whatever. So the kind of shoes I like, I'm just gonna tell you. I mean, people are gonna do what they're gonna do regardless, but it'd be very hard pressed to try to replicate the ones that I get down with, because there's a certain whole artistic thing that goes on, not just the making of the shoes, but the actual art that's screened on the shoes. So yeah, and I like them, and I never thought I'd be the type of person to just keep them in some boxes like, oh, these are dead stock. I'm not gonna. Yeah, no. Coming up as a kid, like, you have a pair of shoes, you better wear those shoes. It wasn't box them and dead stock them. It was like
you just got shoes just stashed away.
I have some stashed away, and I'm gonna be honest too. Like during the pandemic, like, because obviously I'm not moving around. I'm not. If the kind of moving I'm doing is like, it's very limited. I'm not on tour. I'm not doing stuff. Yeah. So no need for me just to have some shoes for an event or whatever the case may be. Matter of fact, Houston is having this is the third year they're doing this sneaker ball, and I love that experience, man. I love it. It's and your city might have it too. It's a fundraising event. It's for young people who need tuxedos and dresses for prom and that kind of stuff. It's just a great fundraising event. So, you get G'd up, you get real nice, and then you wear the livest shoes. And then they have like a contest to see who has the best shoes. Like, I'm not even doing that this year. And I really want to go to that event because that's one event that I really, really rally behind. Yeah. But, man, I haven't bought anything for anything to sit in front of a computer. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I might get back into the shoes. I get bitten with the bug sometimes. And I just like, you know what? Now I'm on it. I want this shoe. I want that shoe. But
man, look, let it bite you. I'm not gonna put you on the spot. What kind of shoes you have on right now? Since we just keeping it formal.
I ain't got no shoes on right now.
That's fine. Hold on, I'm gonna have to show you because I'm not gonna flex on you, man. But I'm just gonna show you. These are just my comfortable old man slide shoes. Let me show you. These are ones I wear every day. These joints are busted up, man. These polo joints.
But I like that though. See, I'm into that stuff like that.
Yeah,
you like see that.
But I'm gonna show you how busted up they are. Like a true sneakerhead, man. You don't want to smell these, but you can see how I'm wearing them. Like, it's not like, I'm just rocking and I'm just put them in the box. So if they're comfortable, man, like that's really where I am right now. It's about, I'm on my grown man just comfortability at this point. But if I need to flex on them, I can step out with something nice.
I see you. I love those are fly though. I like those.
Oh man, I appreciate it, but they're just some little slip-ons,
I might have to go and find something like that. I see that's my style. I like stuff like that. Yeah, I don't want to wear what everybody else is wearing all the time.
Why would you want to do that?
Exactly. Why would you want to do that?
That's played, man. Be you, So, yeah.
So, in your opinion, with all the stuff that you do, and we didn't even talk about you painting, I know that you're influenced by Basquiat.
Yeah.
Inspiration from that, and you do like art that's more geared towards African Americans. Is that correct?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I do. Yeah, that's a part of it. But yeah, I definitely do African American art. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
So my question is, out of all that you do, like, in your opinion, if something just jumps out, what is your best piece of work? It could be writing, it could be the art, it could be whatever. What do you feel to date is your best piece of work that just jumps out, that always sticks out to you?
That's interesting. Yeah, you coming with the questions. Man, I would probably say, okay, so photography, so just talking about photography for a second. I really appreciate photography. I appreciate all art, but photography is my thing. So the piece that really stands out for me is Champ. There's a piece called Champ. Mm-hmm. And I think the reason why that stands out is because I was just learning how to use my camera at the time. And again, this is not your phone camera. I'm talking about a manual camera. Yeah. I'm not talking about digital camera. I'm talking about you had to set the settings, turn the depth of field, all that stuff. So I was in Galveston. And this was like a tour. Like I was in a class. This was a media class. Okay. We were on a field trip, and there's this young kid, man. He's standing next to this fence, and he's just bouncing his basketball, and the image just was so striking to me, man. Like you're on a pier, all these boats in the background. You see this black kid bouncing a basketball, like that just was, and it was so interesting because my classmates were looking at the water and they're taking pictures of boats and taking pictures of everything else, and I'm like, that's the photo, like that's the photo right there, like. And so I went up to him, I'm a college kid, he's just like, he could be my little brother or something. He's just a young kid, and I said, hey dude, look, hey, I don't want to stop you from doing what you're doing, man. I said, look, I'm just learning this camera, and I show him my camera. Hey man, Can I get a shot of you doing that? Is that cool with you? He was like, yeah. So man, dude was just doing this. I said, just do your thing. He was natural. Then he posed. He posed right against the fence, and so you see like the number of the number on the ship, and you see the fence, and then you see this kid, and the sun. The lighting is just perfect, man. And you see so much pride and strength in his little face, and I was like, that's it. So I took that photo. We go back and we go back to the class, that was on the weekend. So we go back to class when the week started or what have you. We started trading photos, and everybody in my class was like, "Where did you see that?" Like, y'all were right there on the same pier. Y'all were all right there. And my professor was like, "Yeah, that's pretty decent." The reason why that photo stands out is because I captured that moment, but it was also the time that I became a professional photographer, even in college, because that photo was on exhibit at the Museum of Fine Arts, Houston. So for it to be on display at a national museum, like, I've done like a lot of cool stuff art-wise, man, and like some of that stuff is just a blank right now. But that, I think, it's a standout just because I called it Champ, because that young man has so much promise and potential. And I think for me, because we talked about this earlier as far as like whom much is given, my favorite African principle is Sankofa, giving back. I just always wanted that. I just wish that young man would have the opportunity to go to a museum and to see his value. Come on, man. Man, come on, man. Don't hit me in the chest, man.
Man, you speaking the gospel right now. Boy, you spitting out here.
Man, don't get me started. But
no, that's powerful.
Yeah. So yeah, man. So that's
wow.
Yeah. So now you see, that's probably by far my favorite thing, because, like, who would think a black kid dribbling a basketball is on display at the Museum of Fine Arts and
on a pier with both back.
Right, and nothing to do with coonery, nothing to do with shucking and
jiving. Yeah.
Nothing to do with anything other than a kid being a kid, showing his worth and his pride. Come on, man.
And it's abstract because that's not supposed to be there. As far as, like when you're taking pictures of a pier and boats, like that kid is not supposed to be there bouncing the ball.
Right.
Abstract art, but it's powerful. I get it. I love it.
It's about the experience, right?
Yeah, it's about the experience.
Come on, man.
All about the experience. I wish a kid could go to that museum one day and see that. That might change his life, man.
Because he changed my life. You know what I mean? Like that's what it's about sometimes. And that gets back, it's because it's a tie back. Now it comes full circle. Yep. So you ask, like, why, all this stuff, like, what is it about? And for me, it's about learning things from, like, in unexpected places, but also giving back, right? So I feel like I gave back in just some form, gave him a voice, just gave him a platform, right?
Life. You get life, man. Even if he doesn't even know about it. That energy still, I'm telling you, that energy, man. Yeah. You got that energy out there in the universe, and it's affecting that kid. He doesn't even know it.
He doesn't even know it.
Doesn't even know it. What's the one unique quality about yourself that you feel transcends through all your work?
I think my honesty. I think my heart. It might sound corny to say my heart or whatever, but like I really think, and well, I should say I hope that the way that I feel about my work, that it translates to the reader, or that it transfers to the reader, to the audience, because I'm a firm believer, and I tell novice writers this, I tell young writers this, if you don't feel what you do, other people aren't going to feel it. If you don't feel it, you can't fool people, man. Yeah. People know, you know what I mean? People and animals know, they know what's real. Yeah. They know when somebody's trying to, so I think just my authentic self, and I'm really fortunate that I learned this lesson a long time ago. I think this is something that I really have embraced, and I still embrace, that I don't pigeonhole myself. I don't allow myself to not do me because of what somebody else might say or feel.
Yeah.
You either take it. I know it's like late night type of conversation, whatever. So I'm not everybody's adult beverage of choice, or I'm not everybody's soft drink or water or whatever of choice. And because I'm not trying to be. I'm just trying to be Van G. You know what I'm saying? Yep. And I think that translates. But I also think that what we said, and this is the hallmark, I think, in all my art, is that I want to make a genuine connection. So in my visual arts, I want to make that genuine connection. Literary arts, I want to make the connection, and and have that dialogue, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're accomplishing that.
I appreciate it. I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? For just bringing me on, allow me to share a few things. You know, I mean, we come on. I mean, we can do this. We keep doing this. I don't know what your time frame is like, man.
Yeah,
we can start.
Listen.
Hey,
I'll have a good conversation. I want to know this.
Yeah.
With all of the work that you've done, or even that you're gonna do when it's all said and done, right. What picture are you trying to paint? Okay. What picture do you feel that you will have painted when it's all said and done with all of your works of art? I'm not just talking about painting. What picture are you painting? What are you leaving here? What's that legacy look like for you?
Okay. All right. So again, I'm really big on Sankofa, right? Okay. So I know not everybody knows about Sankofa, but I'm about to break that down. So Sankofa, it is the West African principle of giving back. Okay, and so that symbol, the symbol that represents Sankofa is that of a bird. So it's that of a bird who is, just imagine a bird facing this way, but that bird has his head tilted, and on the back of that bird is an egg. Mm-hmm. And so what that represents, so you have a bird who's facing backwards, and an egg is being placed on its back. So what that symbol represents is being in the present, looking back at the past, giving to the future. Being in the present.
I got you.
Past, giving to the future.
Egg.
The egg, right, the egg represents, right, so you got it, right?
Yeah.
That's Sankofa. So Sankofa is like the African principle that I really hold very close to my heart. And again, it's like we aren't placed on this earth just to hoard the resources, right? Nor are we placed on this earth just to, as John Donne mentioned, to just be islands unto ourselves. We're not here just to be self-serving. We're here to help other people. Yeah. But I really think that one thing that would be the painting would be one in which Sankofa is highlighted in whatever capacity that might be. Much like what we said as far as Champ. Champ is an example of Sankofa, which for all those reasons we just stated, but something that, and it doesn't have to be like all grandiose and overwhelming, right? All just like live and direct. It can be understated, but something that helps people to understand that principle of Sankofa, I think, and that's really what I try to do in all my art. But I don't know, man. Like that's
enough.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, to quote, you do know the philosopher Buju Banton, right?
Yeah, of course.
Buju Banton, right? Buju said it like this. He said, "I could go on and half the stories never be told," right? So you're like, there's so many stories. We talked about this, man. So many narratives that still need to see the light of day. And I don't take it lightly. I don't take it for granted. I'm blessed that I can share my passions with other people. I'm blessed that this is a platform. I don't take this platform for granted. I think you're doing great work. You're allowing, people to be able to be who they are and to share, as you mentioned, these nuggets and these gems with other people. Like this is what it's about, right? This is like people are blessed to be a blessing. And it might sound cliche and all that, but it's true. Like, so man, it's just to be able to do this. Again, man, I don't take it lightly. I don't take it for granted. But just being able to tap in to different, I don't want to say channels, just to tap into different places, right? Because I don't pigeonhole myself, man. So I'm just blessed to be able to. I can go chop it up with some dudes that knock people out on sight. You know what I'm saying? Like they get paid to KO people.
Right.
I call it, hey, what's going on? Oh, nothing, blah, blah, blah. Like I can hang with those cats. Or we can go to the car show and do that. Or we can go to the literary salon.
Yeah.
And talk literature all day. Like I think it's about like you mentioned about your experiences, but also just being open and receptive to the what ifs, those possibilities,
At the end of the day, you're just spreading love, man.
Come on.
Just spread.
What else is it?
You just
what else?
And that could look like many different things and all that you do. But you, at the end of the day, you spread love. You're loving on them children.
Come on, man.
You know what I mean?
Come on, man. Yeah, man. Yeah.
You just listen. Man. You let on God work through you like you're supposed to.
Come on, man.
Cap it off. Cap it off, right? Yeah, you letting God work through you, man.
Come on, man. Yeah, God's plan.
And yeah, exactly. And I tell people like this, there's a debate about what God looks like. He's black, white. No, people like you is what God looks like. It's the doing, it's the work. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's the compassion, it's the empathy for others, caring about others, spreading that love, pouring into other people, being selfless. That's what God looks like, not a color. We're so hooked on colors, so territorial about color.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, nah, man, that's what God looks like. Doing that work, brother. I applaud you. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? This is saying Kofa at his finest. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, indeed.
I really, hey, this, you don't even know, man. I mean, we talked about it just a little bit before, but it's, honestly today, even though, it kind of feels, today already feels like a Friday, or it has already felt like a Friday.
It really has.
This week has been like already like, oh man, is it Friday? Is tomorrow Saturday? Yeah. But I would say, bro, this has been like a burst of energy, a surge of energy that's just like, so I mean, it's a good vibe, man. So hey, shout out to you too. You know what I'm saying? Because you're again bringing awareness. You're letting people know what's happening, and sometimes it's, and I'm gonna say this just parenthetically, and I know we got to wrap or whatever, but sometimes artists, we just do what we do. Mm-hmm. Like we don't even like we don't think about it, right? But then once we become reflective, then that helps us in our processes down the road. But it's also just an opportunity for us to just enjoy some of those things that we might have missed or we might have forgotten. So you took me down some roads that man, I'd forgotten those things. Man, I can tell. Look, yeah, dude, I forgot how hungry I was coming up, man. I was hungry, in college, I was hungry, man. About that hustle,
I know about,
man, hey, trying to make that.
Me and my best friend, when I was doing the music, I started out doing the music. I'm gonna wrap it up too, I ain't gonna be too long, but I started out doing the music, right? I was living in Las Vegas. So me and my best friend Carlos, I did my first mixtape. We recorded my first mixtape and he hopped on it with me, right? On a cassette player with the microphone plugged into the radio.
Yes.
Listen, and then we would ride down the strip, because I used to live in Las Vegas, right? I used to ride down the strip. And this is crazy, man. This is my life story right here. My brother's boss, who was kind of like my aunt, she would let me borrow her car. Man, me and my friend Carlos, he's like my brother. We used to ride around all night freestyling, riding instrumentals. Then we made the mixtape. We ride into that. We get out on the strip. I'm talking about standing on the Caesar's Palace steps, freestyling, video recording. Anytime somebody, listen, I'm telling you, this is all bringing back the memories. This is the hustle. This is the hunger. Anybody, promise you, I don't know. I can't tell you. I know what it was for, but listen, damn near anybody that came to town that was an artist that I wanted to get to perform for, I did it. My homeboy Carlos can tell you that. We got to them. We would go and VIP with them, be rapping for them. Wherever they were, backstage, rapping for them. I got backstage in Madison Square Garden when I first got to New York, rap for Diddy, just in the hallway, chilling. Nothing ever came of it, but I understand what that journey was for. I understand what those experiences were for. And when I tell you I don't do music no more, that's not by a choice. That's what God wanted me to do, is step away from that. God was tugging at my soul. I done told my story several times, so I ain't gonna get on that. But he was tugging at my soul. I was fighting it for so long, and I just knew it wasn't for me anymore. It's not what he wanted for me. I finally left it. I felt alleviated, right? But I'm just telling you, the experiences, and I just remember that hunger. And me and my homeboy, we talked about that, Carlos. And later on in life, we're like, man, we're not as hungry as we used to be. Where did that go? And it's not like we don't have desires and dreams and goals, and it's not like we're not working for stuff, because we're still passionate and have our dreams and we're working. But he was like, man, it's just something about that youthful hunger that we had. We don't have that no more. we need to tap back into that to go into overdrive. You know what I mean? And I'm just like when we're having those conversations, even about the music, I was remembering all them nights we rapping, we freestyling. I left Vegas, I moved to New York. I told them, hey, listen, I'm going to New York. I'm going to get on MTV. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I did all of that. I've been on so many MTV shows, Say What Karaoke, Global Groove, you name it. It got to the point where I came back the next year, got him, he transferred schools, came out there with me. We roommates. We both on MTV. They sent us special invites to go party in the TRL studio, overlooking Times Square on New Year's. Like, they sent us invitations because that's how much we were up there. Like, we really went out there and did what we said we were gonna do. Everything listen, I interned at Bad Boy.
Yeah, come on, man.
Got locked up for putting posters on a scaffold, going to I think it was like the anniversary of Biggie's death. We were going to a club or whatever with Diddy, everybody, right? And like, listen, they were like, oh, yo, hop out real quick and bang out on those scaffolds, put some posters up. Here come the popos, locked us up. Man, I'm telling you, there's so many memories, bro. But I've been around so many people. Man, it's been a journey. So it just takes it like, I used to live with Devontae from Jodeci. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, it's been a journey, but man, I love it. I appreciate it, and I appreciate you because it's only certain people. No, seriously though, it's only certain people that can bring those memories out of you. Sometimes it's certain. It's like it's the people that you talk to, and it's the conversation, the direction of the conversation that can take you back down memory lane. Everybody can't do that.
Yeah, that's true, man. That's true, bro. That's true, man. But hey, you know what? You making me want to go drag the streets of NY right now. Thank you for making me just remember that stuff, man. Like like little young lions and young pups, young wolves, just on it. Yeah,
fearless, man. Like not a care in the world, but we were smart about it. You know,
we wouldn't take no for an answer though. We were so persistent at that time. Like we had a pocket full of money. Like we were talking about, calling offices trying to get, hey, I need to speak with so and so. Like, come on, man. Yes. But it's like that was the era, man. It was the era. Yeah, it's a different and so and I'm just gonna say this. Like what you said, like I was just talking about the lack of passion in some areas about some things the other day, partly due to just what's happening in the world and that, but still trying to be positive and upbeat. But man, this gonna carry me for a little bit, man. This energy is gonna carry me for a little bit. Man, this is gonna carry me, brother, because I'm telling you, like, this is gonna put a different drive. It's like putting a different battery in your back. You putting a new battery in your back right now. You're remembering all of that, and catapult you forward because you're remembering that drive, that hunger. I'm telling you, like, even like my homeboy Carlos, man, he was telling me one day, he was like, listen, man, he's like, I know what God had for you, and he took away from the music, but bro, it was not in vain. Everything that you did with meeting all those artists and us living with them artists and us working with different artists and just being in the same rooms with them and them knowing your face, knowing your energy, feeling your energy, feeling your spirit, bro, it's not for nothing. He was like, watch what I tell you, you're going to turn around and be interviewing them same people and they're going to remember you. And I believe that, bro. I'm telling you, I believe it. I know it. I know it. Yes. I know it, bro. I'm not forgettable. And I'm not that to be arrogant, but I'm telling you, because the energy is all about energy. And when you bring a certain energy into the room, and which me and my homeboy, we always did. People always pointed us out. People always came up to us and talked and said, man, something different about you guys. Like, y'all just, like, you know, seriously, like, something different about you guys. What do y'all do? Like, we always got that, and we still get that. Right. I know it, man. I'm telling you, when I get the opportunity to interview these people that I crossed paths with before, they're gonna remember me. They're gonna remember me, and there's gonna be a relationship reestablished. Right. And it's. I'm telling you, it's all for something, man. It's all for the bigger picture. Come on, man. Believe it. I know it. Yeah. No, it's already done. It's already done. Amen, brother. Amen. Amen, my brother. Amen. Yes. Come on, man. Come on now. Yes, indeed. Get me started, but yeah, man.
Oh man, yeah. But thank you, man. I really appreciate this conversation. This is a conversation, ain't no interview. It's a conversation.
Real time.
I appreciate your energy, appreciate your time. Thank you for being here. I'm gonna link you with my boy too, Jake. Seriously.
Oh, yeah, man. Yeah. Cool. Go buy some shoes. Go turn up and just buy shoes, and
he can. If you need to know about a shoe, he gonna. I'm telling you, he gonna tell you about that shoe. Yeah. For real.
That's all good. There's so much I need to know. Yeah.
Yes, indeed, man. But no, seriously, I appreciate you. Everybody that stuck with us, we've been on here for about an hour and a half. Everybody that stuck with us, I appreciate you guys. Everybody that tuned in, I appreciate you guys. Listen, I'll be back next Tuesday. New guests, new food for thought, new value. But I'm telling you, cherish this right here. You need to rewind this and rewatch this. Get these gems, get this value. Y'all check out Van G Garrett on Instagram, Van G Garrett 1 on Facebook and Twitter. And make sure and check out the website, VanGGarrett.com. No, VanGGarrettPoet.com.
Oh yeah.
I got all the links.
Come on, man.
Oh, click them links. Go change your life, man. Dive into this brother right here because he's got so much to offer. He's doing such great things, man. And what I like about it too, I'm just gonna say this: humble, and it's not about flash and fame, but you're doing probably more than what some of these celebrities,
I appreciate it.
Big names and the light shining in their face are doing. So kudos to you, man. That's love for real. We out of here. Next week, Tuesday, 10 p.m., same time, same place. Come kick it with your boy, KoolKard. Thank you, Van. Appreciate you, man. I really do.
Appreciate you, man.
My pleasure. It's been fun. We out of here, y'all.
All right, peace.